Infinite love is the only truth. Everything else is illusion. Illusions only control you when you think they are real. You don't fight for peace. You peace for peace. I don't edit information, I follow it. Everyone is a son or daughter of God. A gift of truth is the gift of love. Weak minds think alike. Racism is the ultimate ignorance in that it relates self to the body instead of the consciousness, awareness, animating and experiencing through the body. It is like judging a man by his spacesuit instead of the person inside it. The reason most people don't express their individuality and actually deny it is not fear of what prime ministers think of us or the head of the Federal Reserve, it's what their families and their friends down at the bar are going to think of them. Zionism is a subject that all but a few are either too ignorant or too frightened to tackle and expose, but it must be made public and the web dismantled if global tyranny is to be avoided in the very near future. Why do we, who say we oppose tyranny and demand freedom of speech, allow people to go to prison and be vilified, and magazines to be closed down on the spot for suggesting another version of history? I prefer to speak of interdimensional rather than extraterrestrials because the letter has connotations of little green men and all the other cliché responses. Nor does it tell the full story. I know that you are a part of me and I am part of you because we are all projections of the universal principles of creation, destruction, polarities of the same infinite consciousness that we call God. Official history is merely a veil to hide the truth of what really happened. When the veil is lifted, again and again, we see that not only is the official version not true, it is often 100% wrong. These big questions, who are we? Where are we? What are we doing here? They never ask that in the mainstream. They just leave that to religions to divert people off into rigid belief systems. I have been saying and writing for so many years that one sentence can encapsulate the totality of life, of existence, of being. Infinite love is the only truth, everything else is illusion. I believe that the human race has developed a form of collective schizophrenia in which we are not only the slaves to this imposed thought behavior, but we are also the police force of it. I once had an extraordinary experience with former Prime Minister David Icke. Both of his eyes, including the whites, turned jet black and I seemed to be looking into two black holes. Humanity is actually under the control of dinosaur-like alien reptiles called the Babylon Brotherhood who must consume human blood to maintain their human appearance. If you have a preconceived idea of the world, you edit information. When it leads you down a certain road, you don't challenge your own beliefs. The years after the millennium will see gathering conflict all over the world to the point where the United Nations will be overwhelmed. Stop yelling at the movie, you ain't never gonna change it like that. Go change the movie in the projector. You are the projector. It's appropriate that the word ignorance is an extension of the word ignore. We ignore so much and so we become ignorant. I have gone from being my experience to being infinite consciousness, having the experience and observing the experience. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see the real you, or what you have been conditioned to believe is you? It's amazing how everything fits together in the world of the Illuminati if you are prepared to dig deep enough. The vast majority of people in any organization, even quite high up, have got no idea who the real masters are. If you want to know the outcome of a game before the game has even started, you need to control each side. Any society where it is a crime or a hassle to be different is a society based on psychological fascism. Any society where it is a crime or a hassle to be different is a society based on psychological fascism. All you can do every day is do what you believe is right. That's what I do, and what will be, will be. There are many things that we can understand, but in the end it is a case of anything is possible. The word love has become so devalued, we have to put words in front of it, like unconditional. Life constantly presents the greatest opportunity brilliantly disguised as the biggest disaster. Terms like good and bad are extremely simplistic in what is a far more complex situation. The day is coming when even the most closed-minded ridiculers will have to face the truth. When mind and heart come together, mind serves consciousness instead of serving itself. Humanity is mind-controlled and only slightly more conscious than your average zombie. A group of reptilian humanoids, called the Babylonian Brotherhood, control humanity. It's not where you start or where you finish. It is the distance between the two. I love this sport as long as it's kept as entertainment, not a meaning of life. The only revolution that will change anything is a revolution of perception. The greatest prison people live in is the fear of what other people think. You don't comb the mirror, you comb your own hair and the mirror changes. I am not an anti-Semite. I have great respect for the Jewish people. Today's mighty oak is just yesterday's nut that held its ground. Cleverness without wisdom, the most destructive force on earth. The best way of removing negativity is to laugh and be joyous. Abundance equals choice equals freedom. Scarcity equals dependence equals control.